Do, 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 do. We're gonna jump into the Back to the Future mod. Hill Valley Clock Tower. Hey, Powerwash Services. Any chance you're free to come down to the Universal Studios backlot? We're just wrapping up our film's incredible climax sequence with a special effects team through everything in our clock tower, even lightning. Now the film's in the can. We need it meticulously cleaned down for the next production. You did a fantastic job on our vehicle, so naturally you're the first person we thought of. Thanks a lot. Welcome back. We left the front doors open, so you could use the staircase. Should make cleaning that stuff but by the clock much easier. I still haven't seen the script, but I watched them film the scene 1,000 times so I could talk you through it. Ooh, almost made it. Yeah. You know, it's funny, I have gone through this level before, but I have never watched the first Back to the Future movie because all of the highlights I've seen about it, it kind of ruins any, like, fascination I might be able to have with the movie. I've only ever seen the third one, partially. I think it's because I take things way too literally when it comes to movies and media, and if they don't acknowledge a certain amount of things and try and meet their audience at least halfway, I kind of lose my suspension of disbelief. That or if characters are just like dumb or do certain things that straight up don't make sense. Like the whole bit where Marty McFly's mom tries to make out with him. And it's one of those things that is like heavily emphasized for comedy. It's like that would fucking mentally scar someone. Yike. That or the weird creepy implications that a white boy was one of the big steps towards the rock and roll movement because he used to listen to Johnny B. Johnny B. Good. I think that's the musician's name. On the guitar. It's implied that over the radio or over the telephone, he frickin' stole the song from a white boy, which. That's kind of dumb. Specifically, this movie is one of the reasons why I'm not super into time travel or time paradox movies and or shows. There's definitely been a question before whether the director, Robert Zemeckis, may or may not be racist because some of the implications of the film, but who knows? Maybe people are just taking things too literally again and missing the forest for the trees. That or the film has weird, creepy signaling throughout. Who knows? Oh no, I have to go to uni. I'll miss the stream. Aw. It's okay, Lele. You will be here in spirit. I'm just glad you popped in to say hi. Yeah, I just thought I'd do a late one because I wanted to do some more power wash. Yeah, I won't be home until tomorrow. Jeesh. What do you overnight at uni? That's crazy. Well, best of luck, friendo. Don't take too much Ambien while you're out. Wink wonk. Blah, blah, blah. Pillar shaft, haha. Jasper. Doggy go wee wah. This has like a very stony Charlie Brown vibe to the music. Like Charlie Brown's first acid trip. So, Doc climbed the tower, the clock tower. I think it's because he's scared of three things: big cats, heights, and lightning, and he's trying exposure therapy. His plan is to hug a sculpture of a puma and then zip line his way to the ground on a thunderstorm. Three birds, one stone. But when he emerges onto the ledge of the clock tower and sees the puma, he panics. You could say he poos his puma pants. He's bitten off way more than he can chew. Doc tries to focus by pulling up the zip line for his friend Marty below. Marty tries to warn Doc about something. Not sure exactly what. At his timing stinks. It's the middle of a thunderstorm and Doc can't hear a thing. So Doc returns to his exposure therapy and he hugs the puma, it cures him. Now on to Fears 2 and 3. Hey Kron, how you doing, buddy? You managed to get a foothold in any of your games that you've been playing? That underwater one, yeah. Cool. And Project Zomboid getting a little bit better. Nice. Yeah. Project Zomboid definitely takes a rhythm to start getting better at. Because sometimes, some days are totally fine, and then other days it's like, haha, run, bitch. At least it's one of those things that's fairly easy to customize. I thought DayZ was a bit harder. Because you have to worry about other people more often. Depending where you play, yeah, stay right away from vanilla servers. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever found any servers with Project Zomboid, but shit's pretty easy to customize. I know there's some server hosting you can actually pay for, because in my experience, if you're going to run one for more than like, God, not even 4 people, like more than 3 people, including yourself, the server really quickly just starts to fall apart. I don't know if it's been upgraded since I've tried to run my own, but yeah. Finished Disillusionment the other day. That one was. Like, it definitely needs certain things in it for me to like, because there was a bit too much repetition with all of the maze running and all of the dicking around and so on. And all of the really grindy fighting in it. Overall, it was an interesting experience, but I don't think I would willingly go back. I gave it my best try, let that be known. Dog is being noisy. Jasper, hush. Making the cat jump. He was totally fine. It's probably because of our frickin' neighbors. I swear one of them is a crack dealer or something, because they always have people coming and going at all hours. Shush. Frickin' noisy doggo. Door frame. The storm is really brewing now. To connect the zip line, Doc has to walk along the ledge and plug it into the base of the clock tower's weather vane. But the ledge crumbles beneath his feet. That must have been what Marty was warning Doc about the ledge's substandard construction. Somehow Doc holds on and tries to plug in the zip line, but it's pinned down by an awful log. Hey Joey, what's up? Wow, you're so scary. How you doing? What are you up to, kiddo? Eating and relaxing for the night. Nice. Well, I'm glad. Did you have a hard day? Eventually, Doc frees the cable, but the storm's exactly overhead. Directly. Oop. Today was well. Good, I'm glad. He makes it fear to tick on the lightning. Now on the ground, he grabs at a cable glowing with lightning. His body drives past the car. Doc celebrates overcoming his final fear, dancing in Marty's fiery trail. Kitty. Shoo. How all this ties in with time travel is anyone's guess. I'm feeling a lot better from the mouth ache I had. Did you ever find out what was wrong with it? Was it just like a sore tooth or something? No, apparently a gaping hole that was forming in my gums. Jeez. I hope you're okay now. What the hell was up with that? Some shit, man. It's currently fully formed and open, but ironically the pain is gone. Well, maybe it's because whatever was in the hole cleared out, and the actual pain was coming from the pressure. Yeah, I've had tooth problems before. It's kind of like you have a weird gum pimple. Blech. Blech. Sorry, that noise wasn't for you. It was specifically for the idea of a pimple on my gums. Got 16 teeth to be removed from my mouth. Haha. Jeesh. Well, sometimes drugs be doing that. Is it drugs? Or is it just like weird? Don't do drugs, kids. It sucks when you get older. Yay! I guessed it correctly. My prize is the depressing knowledge of knowing. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. Jasper, stop. It's my own doing. No need to feel bad. Still, that kind of stuff happens. I mean, I know a lot of people, their biggest fear is like tooth stuff because there's this social connection to teeth and self-identity. That's why if you have dreams about your teeth falling out, it's actually a feeling of a loss of self-identity. Generally, anyway. Small disclaimer, I am not a fucking doctor. Do not what I take do not take what I say literally. Oh, I would call having dreams every night overrated, friend, because they're not always good ones. I have had severe nightmares, like really, really, really graphic, descriptive nightmares, since I was about 9. I am now in my 30s. Don't recommend it. Blue dreams are fun. I don't imagine being a guy that has lewd dreams. Can be fun sometimes, though. You know, cleaning up sheets and whatnot. Vagina havers do not have to do that. Thankfully. At the worst, you just have to change some snotty underpants. That is possible for a guy past the age of 18-ish. Oh, nocturnal emissions? I don't know. I've heard about older guys having them too. But it's certainly rarer. Apparently, if you do stuff like heroin and you're going through withdrawals, it's very possible. Because it makes you very sensitive to stimulation. I only know this because I saw like a documentary from someone that was a recovering addict. And he said probably the worst part about being a heroin addict and suffering from withdrawal symptoms is you're constantly having accidental orgasms from rubbing your dick against like your pants and stuff because you're overly sensitive, because your body is no longer numbed up from being on heroin. So spontaneous orgasms can happen. And if you happen to be in prison for drug use, that's not great. It looks like it's definitely possible, but unlikely. Oh, fun fact I learned, the older you get, if you are not keeping up with general, like, cardiovascular stuff, so, like, you're not exercising enough, you're not, uh, like, making sure that you're keeping your heart rate up and stuff to a healthy amount, you're gonna notice shrinkage in your sausage. So don't be alarmed. I only know this because a friend of mine was like, oh, hey, what the fuck? I used to be such and so a size. And all of a sudden, I'm now such and so a size. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. And I googled if shrinkage was possible over X period of time. And yep, apparently, uh, if you have either certain cardiovascular issues or certain issues with blood pressure, etc., your your blood sausage may shrink a little bit, kind of like that whole idiom, if you don't use it, you lose it. Honestly, the only thing, if you want to like make sure that it's keeping up size, quote unquote, is just masturbation, I think. But yeah, that was a weird one to learn about. I like I like to be educated about stuff like that because I find it fascinating just how much they do not teach you in the American school system has left me like so chronically behind about certain things. And I'm catching up at the worst time, finding out about PCOS and amenorrhea and all of these other fun things if uh, you're a vagina haver, but also about things like apparently if you're a dude and you have a lady friend that you trust, The perineum is apparently more sensitive than your bell end or your prostate. So, fun facts. Anywho. Yep, just gonna let that soak in silence. Ah. God, I'm so freaking tired. I woke up at like 6 a.m. after having a whole bunch of nightmares. It's no fun. Also need to get into the rhythm of drawing again and other stuff. Are you in an Eastern country? I am not. I am in the US of A. Friend Joey. Pause. You said it's 6 a.m. No, I said I woke up at 6 a.m. So I have been up since 6 a.m. my time. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I was yawning because I've been up since 6 my time. It's now 5, so... Eh. And I also got shit sleep. Frickin' cat waking me up doing the it, 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 it. And I'm just like, oh no. Oh no. Don't do that. No. No throwing up. Stop that. I don't get tired. What's that like? Cause I'd be so fucking productive if I didn't get tired. Be cleaning, be probably writing and so on. Not good if not being used. Well, I have ADHD, friend, and I have like 5 million hobbies that I am okay at that I would probably have mastered by now. Normally, when I wake up, I just lay there for an hour or two every day and wait for the sun to start coming up and just think, well, why not do something with that time? Or is it more just your daydreaming time? I would. Kind of gave up in life. Well, I don't think there's really an end so long as you're alive. You can always keep going, friend. I mean, you're here right now talking to me. Sometimes it's just easy. It's helpful just doing like a little baby step. Like picking up a new hobby or something. Like I don't know. What are you into other than video games? I was thinking about that recently, starting from small steps, because it kind of gets the ball rolling. Yes, it does. Like they say, a rolling stone gathers no moss, whatnot. I'm available to be interested in new things, but some of my current interests are pretty basic. Oh, like what? I like cooking, working out, running, listening to music. Those all sound pretty healthy. Well, so maybe get back into running and stuff like that. Like, try to maybe even find like somewhere in your country or state that maybe has like a nice little hike or something you can try and do. Well, that's good that you never stopped. Keeps you healthy, I suppose. I definitely need to exercise more, but all of my body pains and aches have made it really difficult to stay motivated. But I know you just gotta get into a good habit and so on. Blech, blech, blech. I don't know if I told you that. I have severe social anxiety. It was sometime around like 4 years ago. Hmm. It was more like 10 years ago. Yeah, I frickin' also have some social anxiety and now agoraphobia, which has made it really hard to leave the house and stuff. Had a pretty bad incident. Do you want to talk about it, or is it something that you'd rather keep private? Since then, it kind of feels like getting a jolt when speaking to someone. I see. Well, from what I've been told, uh, the two ways through stuff like that are exposure therapy or something like DBT, where you're kind of slowly learning coping skills to deal with the anxiety that comes with that unpleasant feeling. Not to ignore and hide it away, but to acknowledge it and kind of like talk yourself through it. Like, hey, this is a fight or flight reaction. Like, nothing bad is happening in this moment. We're totally fine. We don't have to worry. At least that's what I've been told. Whenever I go out for extended periods of time or even just hopping in the car now, because my brain has that association of like, okay, we're going out. Whenever I hop into the car, I just get this full body feeling of like nausea, tension, dizziness, just everything is doing alarm bells and freaking out and shutting down. Random question, ever play Darkwood? Yes, I have played Darkwood. I believe I have it in my... I believe I have it in my Steam library. I definitely wanted to get back to it, but holy shit, that game is hard. I've only made it, I want to say like halfway through. Dread, nausea, shutting down, dude, you know. Yeah, I do. It's this feeling of dread, nausea. You get like the cold chills in your stomach. You just start to, it's really difficult not to hyperventilate and stuff. And as someone who has chronic asthma, that can be extra terrifying. Because it's like, oh god, am I gonna suffocate and die right here? It's also just like a general feeling of. How about Dredge? No? I don't think I have anything called Dredge. But yeah, the general feeling is. Oh, it's really unpleasant. It's a horror fishing game. I think I've seen that one. Maybe. Panther statue, clock rim. Okay, go back through here. Let's see, what did I miss? Clock ceiling axle. But yeah, you know what? I'm actually willing to mention a story if you guys don't mind a little bit of trauma dumping. Those stories can always be fun. So I think probably my first experience with agoraphobia was a panic attack that actually left me like completely paralyzed. I actually remember I fainted at one point in a public bathroom because I had a sensory overload after not going out for a long period of time. And my body did not like that and didn't understand what was happening, because I guess I've always had panic attacks or anxiety episodes whenever I would get overly stimulated, like even as a kid, because I fucking love Halloween. And so every single year when Halloween would come around, I'd get deathly ill because my body was just so revved and amped up wanting to do Halloween that I got excited to the point where I made myself sick. So going out and doing things, going to parties, etc. and so forth was very much not a thing that I could do for that. Which absolutely sucked donkey balls. But what are you gonna do? So I was really excited for this convention that I was gonna go to because Akira Yamaoka was at the fucking thing. And what are the chances that he'd be in frickin' Arizona ever again? So I was incredibly excited, and after like most of the day had already passed, we were at like a Wendy's or something out by the expo, and I just got so incredibly nauseous. Went to the bathroom, came back to the car, and then all of a sudden I had possibly a weird sensation in my stomach. Possibly I was having a gallbladder attack. I don't know. And so, not super long after that, I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom again. Can we pull over? And everyone's like, yeah, sure. And because they wanted to go to a Walmart that was out by the convention center that we had all come to go to a comic convention for. So they stop, they're wandering around Walmart, and the stomach ache is not going away. And someone, for some reason, it's like maybe 10, 9 o'clock at night, someone has their gaggle of children wandering around inside the Walmart bathroom, and these kids are like peeking under stalls and slamming them and screaming. And I'm already not feeling well and having a rough time, and I'm just like, oh dear God, please wrangle your fucking goblins. And something in my brain just kind of snapped in half. And I actually remember, like, hey, I'm having trouble leaving the bathroom because I'm feeling really dizzy. And talking to the friends, and they're like, okay, well, what do you want us to do? And I said, I think I need to go home. And so I actually had to call my mom and be like, hey, I need you to drive all of the way from our house and so over to here. And she's like, that's a 30-minute drive. Are you sure you want me to like come and get you and bring you home? Like, are you just coming home for the night? And I'm like, I don't know that I can come back because I had fainted in a frickin' bathroom. In a public Walmart bathroom. And I felt like absolute garbage. And so, uh, we're in the hotel, I believe, after a point, and I'm trying to calm down. I'm still having a panic attack, and just like, it's taking everything in me to not just be hysterically crying. Because I have so much panic and adrenaline going through my body. And everything is shaking. And, yeah. I'm trying to think. So we finally make it to the hotel room, but because it's a hotel and there's a bunch of super geeked up, teenagers running through the lobby dressed up in their Homestuck cosplay and thinking they're so funny and cute. And they start slamming on the doors, and me, who's already feeling really vulnerable and awful, is just like, oh my god, please make it stop. Please make it stop. Please make it stop. And I feel like that was probably my worst and most intense panic attack that I'd ever had. For sure. And that's kind of what continued to push me down to a road of like, the world doesn't feel safe. Because it felt like there were so many instances of Like, hey, every single thing that you want to stop right now is like coming for you with a vengeance to make you feel bad. Which, eh, I don't think anyone was really out to get me or anything like that. It was just a long series of very unfortunate events and sensations and so on that I was super not happy about. I think the second one was probably the worst. It started with me eating way too much fucking sugar. Fun fact, don't do that if you have anxiety issues. Like, lower your sugar and caffeine intake. And I had been holed up in my house for probably like 2 years at that point, because the panic attacks and stuff from going outside and being around people were just so intensive that it was making like anything a big old difficult chore. Um, and our neighbors had been playing like this really loud recorded Christmas music on their front lawn for like hours right outside my bedroom window. And they had been outside doing like a sort of New Year's barbecue thing. And between all of that, just something in my head snapped. And I got such a bad flash of anxiety that I actually pulled my abdominal muscles so badly that if I tried to eat anything, uh, like my stomach was inflamed to the point where it would just end up like out of my guts, either like with the most horrific Lovecraftian stomach cramps and diarrhea, or uh, okay, got the shutter. What? Wall columns. Or just kind of like rolling around until my body had finally like gotten whatever I'd eaten out. Being miserable and crying because it hurt so much. I never went to like the hospital or anything because at that point in time I was so freaked out I couldn't, and they would have probably had to anesthetize me just to like be there. So yeah, I haven't left my house again in 2 years. I was actually doing really well from like, I want to say 2018 to 2020, and then, well, we all went back inside again, and then around 2021, my mom had to have heart surgery for pacemaker, and that, I don't know if it was that or something else, but something made something in my brain just kind of lost it again. I think it was just all of the going out and then all of the staying in from what ended up happening. Because there was a long recovery time after my mom had her surgery, and she needed me to stay with her and she needed me to do stuff. And so between that and then the one time I was independent and went out by myself, I had another freaking panic attack just over the most benign thing. It could have just been because I was out alone and I was out again for the first time in a very long time. Just so frustrating. Because it's like, okay, well, what is triggering this? And it'll be something super benign, like a random sensation. Like, wait, why is this bothering me so badly? Because it just ends up not making sense. Like, the thing that bothered me was, the thing that ended up bothering me was actually super stupid. I was getting my eyeglasses changed. I was in the lobby, and then all of a sudden I started to like get the shakes really bad. Wasn't because I like was on any kind of drugs or anything, or I was tripping out, or I was having a hallucination or anything. It was just something about the sensation of those industrial sized the industrial sized air conditioning they have in there. It makes the walls vibrate, and resting my head back against the wall while it was vibrating, just something in my head went, fuck that, and just disconnected from reality. So that was super unpleasant, and I've kind of been trapped back inside again for like half a year, a little over. But yeah. We are two humble confectioners, brother and sister, living out our own deep in the woods of the national park. And there's absolutely nothing strange about that. We are also the creators of the finest gingerbread ever to grace the country, but to stay on top we need constant reinvention, and our dream forest home has become a grubby grotto, affecting our ability to dream up wonderful new recipes. Can you come and restore our cottage? And with it our creative flow, Danke! Let's do some main game. I know it's natural for people to be suspicious, but we really are who we say we are. Hexenjäger. So, Cursed Hunter, if you're Hexenjäger. Because I think that's what each of those things means. That or Magic Hunter. Talk to you later, gonna lay down. Alright. Go have a cuddle with Chandler, Joey. Sweep tight. Bye bye. Rest well. I hope I didn't trigger Joey Crone with my trauma venting. Because I've noticed myself, if I can relate a little too strongly to something that someone is saying, it can be a little upsetting. Some of the feelings that rise up from that. But I might just be overthinking shit like I do. Jasper, you kind of ruined the relaxing ambiance I'm trying to cultivate, bud. Hold on, Jasper. I will be right back. I need to go let my dog out. Alright, I am back. Yes, we moved here just a week before that banquet robbery, but people move house all the time. You might say I bear slight resemblance to Floozy McGee, but she was much younger than I am now, and such a happy soul. Hansel looks nothing like Rocky McGee. Hansel has a huge beard, long unruly hair, and defeated eyes. Rocky was young, clean-shaven, handsome, with such spirit. Jasper, calm down. Freaking dog jump scaring everyone. Aki would never run away from Ceylon, hide out in a dank, dark cottage for years, claiming to be a baker unless he's completely desperate. Gotcha. Beth Ferguson, hey, don't suppose you have time to fit my poor little Trixie, do you? She's all mucked up. Thank you so much for making the cottage look wonderful. It feels like a stain on our character has finally been removed and we can get back to our true passion. Also, my mind is on the recipe into a magnificent new custard strudel. My poor SUV. Look at the state of it. Dropped the kids off at the play school and the police had closed the National Park Drive for some reason, so I had to double back over the dirt tracks to get home. Trixie wasn't built for roads like that. Please help her look all cutesy again. Hey, don't suppose you have time to fix up my poor little Trixie, do you? She's all mucked up. Oops, sorry I bumped the mic. I had an itch. Brake lights, bumpers, car. Ba-bam. Oh, she looks beautiful. And just in time for my afternoon catch up with the girls. Thanks muchly. Our fire station's as mucky as a pig pen. Ordinarily, we just break out a few crates of the cold stuff and let the strong arms and hoses have at it. What with being sent here, there, and everywhere in search of the mayor's dang cat, we just don't have the time. I'm messaging you from the lower branches of an oak tree at Great River that I can already see has no cat name. Your name came highly recommended. Thanks, Denver. And that's been about 3 hours, so I think we are going to call it here, folks. Thank you for joining in, Joey, Kron, Jamina. I'm sorry you couldn't make it. And anyone else lurking out there, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I hope yours is a pleasant one. Bye bye.